Hello, VIPKID teachers. I wanted to do a quick video to talk about feedback, and my feedback has drastically changed in the year that I've worked for VIPKID. A couple different factors. The first one is I started using Feedback Panda. Feedback Panda is an extension on Chrome, and it's basically like an online database that saves your feedback that you have written, templates, and it's amazing. It's made my life so much better. Here's a look at what Feedback Panda looks like in the browser. You have a window for every kid. It shows the course and the template, and then you can just edit the template for how they did that day. So I was just typing quickly between classes feedback for the first time, and then I did the free trial of Feedback Panda to give it a try, see how it worked, and I fell in love with it. The cool thing is, if you teach, for example, Unit 2, Level 1, Lesson 1, it saves your feedback that you wrote for that. So every kid in the future that you teach at that level, it automatically brings it up, and then you just change their name and how they did, and it takes seconds. It is a lot of work on the front end, choosing and writing your templates in the beginning, but you're going to be writing anyway, so you might as well save it and reuse it. Totally love it. So I was using that for a few months, and then the next big change in my feedback came when I read a book, an online ebook by a veteran VIPKID teacher. His name, I wrote down, his name is Ed Nace. The book is called Loud and Clear, and it's a $10 ebook. I saw such amazing reviews that I just was so curious I had to do it. And the reviews all said that immediately after implementing these methods, their percentage of feedback increased, and I too can attest to that. I haven't kept perfect records of it, but I can definitely say that I've had so much more feedback lately. It's amazing. So there's 5 main things I wanted to point out about how I do feedback now versus when I started. I always make it very personal in the beginning. I say thank you to mom and dad. I oftentimes will look on the app and it says how many classes the student has taken with you. And this is Kitty, one of my regulars. So I will often write things like, wow, Kitty, this is our 40th class together. Mom and Dad, thank you so much for choosing me 40 times. I feel very honored. This is the second one. For students I've only taught like 2 or 3 times, I will say really directly, I would love to become your student's regular VIPKID teacher. I think we work well together. We have a good connection. And I only do that if it's honest. I'm not going to be fake with these parents, because if it's a student that we're just not connecting, or if it's a student that's badly behaved, let's be real, I don't want to be their regular teacher. Feeling that if I really would like to be their teacher, I write that right away, like the second sentence, so they see it right away, and I think that makes a big difference. This is from Ed Nace. I give him credit for this. I don't just make a laundry list of what we studied in class. Like this, when I was a new teacher, I used to just say, for phonics, we worked on the op family. For reading, we answered comprehension questions. For math, we talked about equals and non-equals. Parents are either sitting right there with them or watching the playback. They don't need you to just list it. Worthless information for them. What they want to know is, why are they paying money for you to teach their kid? The thing that really you have to offer as a teacher is that you are a native speaker and you're fluent. You don't sound like a Chinese person who learned English. You sound like a native English speaker. They want their student to learn from a native English speaker. You can say things about why it's important for them to learn from you. In the book, he recommends saying, we will work on having a native sounding accent. Their speaking will become more fluent. If they're struggling with a sound, describe specifically how you will teach them to get better at it. A lot of Chinese students can't say the the short I sound, or the V sound. Describe how to actually form your mouth and how you will teach it to them. So that's been a change in how I've done feedback. So 4, I tell about what I added to the lesson. Because, I mean, you can just teach just the slides, and sometimes you're tight on time and you just stick straight to the slides, yes. But oftentimes, you have time to expand the lesson, and they want to know that you are using your time wisely and not just wasting their time. They want every second to count. So the phrase, this is another phrase from Ed Nace. He said, use expanded instead of extended. It translates better. And tell how you expanded the lesson. One way I expand is in the phonics section if we're working on like the op word family. They usually have 3 letters. You connect hop, cop, fop. And then if they're doing really great with that, I'll add a couple other letters, sop and top or whatever. And if they are just flying through that, I'll try a 4-letter word like stop. I expanded the lesson by adding new and different sounds for them to try, and they did great at it. Then I even did a 4-letter word. Expand the lesson whenever you can. The thing I've added to my feedback is I don't ask them to practice anything. And that was from advice from that book also. Said these parents are asking you to be the teacher because you are the one who has the native accent. If they practice with their parents, they're probably going to practice incorrectly. So I don't ask them to practice anything anymore. I ask them to do their pre-class homework and their post-class review. And I write that in my my signature at the end of every feedback. I say, good job, you got 5 stars. Thank you for booking the class with me. Please do your pre-class homework and your post-class review to make the lessons more meaningful. And this is the other part I add in my signature. It's really important. I say, I would love to see you again soon. Please consider using the priority booking function. Started adding that in my feedback. I have seen an increase in priority bookings. And to review, be personable, tell how many classes you've had together, that kind of thing. Talk about their family or how their day went. Ask to be the regular teacher. Tell the why, not just a list. Expand the lesson and talk about why you expanded it. Don't ask them to practice. Ask them to do their homework. And ask for priority booking. Those are my tips for feedback. And I think if you implement even some of those, they'll really improve your feedback. Again, a plug for 2 things. Feedback Panda is the best. If you're teaching more than like 2 classes a day, you should be using Feedback Panda. It will save your life. And then number 2, plug for Ed Nace's book. Amazing. So much advice and wisdom in that book. All right, all the best.